What do you guys got?
Do you want to talk about the stadium, or do you want to talk about Michigan?
Probably Michigan. Obviously I got the email today. Obviously I was, told ahead of time a little bit, but I don't know much else detail wise. So just like we're building the best training facility probably in the country, sounds like we'll continue to one of the most iconic, but also one of the best stadiums. So I know with that there's always, anytime you build something, you always have to go down to go back up, right? You have to build a foundation before you can build a skyscraper. So I know there's obviously going to be some challenges to it that are well beyond my pay grade, but Trev's one of the reasons why I came here. He's a visionary leader, and he's a guy that sees the big picture. And the future of college football is going to be different, And so right now, so much of it's based on TV money, and that's going to continue to change. And so many things are going to continue to change. So I think Trev has elite vision for making sure that University of Nebraska football is in the best position to be successful from everything around the football. So it's one of the reasons why I came here, because he could see all those things that I can't see.
From a competitive standpoint, what do you think of this idea of having the students ringing that south end zone, having the thing closer to the field?
This first I've heard of it. Yeah, sorry. I literally, like, when I tell you guys I'm in a bubble, like, I'm in a bubble. I'm working. So I'm sure it'll be great. That's the first I've heard of it, to be quite completely honest with you.
You have an update on your quarterback situation?
Yeah, but both guys have practiced all week. I think Jeff's. I wouldn't say Jeff's 100%. He looks good, but he's in terms of move and slide within the pocket. Heinrich, has looked good. How much can he completely open up and all those things? I don't think we'll know till game time, but there's been no restrictions on him. So, they're both trying to get ready. We'll practice tomorrow, and we'll be ready to probably use either one of them or both of them, and as needed.
What can Fleeks give you with what you've done at running back?
I've known Josh a long time, and Josh has always really been like a tailback playing receiver. And so we started the process last week of just kind of getting him in there for a few plays and immersing him as an emergency back. And he's looked really good. So going to continue to bring him along. We haven't been getting a ton of plays. We're not certainly a spread offense that runs 90 plays a game, and Michigan doesn't let opponents have a ton of plays. So how much he'll be used this week, I think, will depend kind of on where Sack goes in the game. There's some things that he can do running the ball that I think are pretty special. So I think we're still in the introductory phases of this. I think he's learning, but he's a great person that we can go to in an emergency and then continue to develop his role so we can utilize him.
Does that lessen the need perhaps to use Quentin Ives, or are those things happening independently?
Independent of each other, yeah. I think Quentin, I would have loved to have gotten him in the ball game here last week, and just kind of where the game went, just never got to it. But we think Quentin's kind of a different type of a back. He's more of a downhill, I back, old school I back, whereas Fleeks is a little bit more of a spread kind of tailback. So I think they both give us something.
Speaking of running backs, would Rahmir be eligible for a medical redshirt?
Yeah, Rahmir has could have another year if he wanted it in terms of COVID year / the rules are. For all of our guys, it's like triple asterisks on what they could do and couldn't do. But yes, Rahmir, I believe, would be eligible for another year based upon all the information I have at the time, if he wants it.
Michigan's backfield, really dynamic with the quarterback run game. They kind of do things similar to what you guys do with running the quarterback and multiple backs. Is there advantages trying to stop that, knowing that you guys kind of do the similar type of style?
Yeah, they have a great run game. They really don't have all the option plays that we run, but they do a great job of in crucial downs going to a big power set, but then still reading the backside edge, and the quarterback will pull it, and JJ can run really well. So luckily for us, because we're always seeing that, we always have to have a guy accounted. You can't just go diving down because you have the wing man-to-man. All of a sudden, the quarterback pulls it and you're surprised. We see it every day. So I think we'll be prepared for it. Now, being prepared for it and executing it are two different things. It's really hard to place it. It's really hard to play somebody man-to-man, play the cutback if it shows up, and play the quarterback, right? That's what makes option football and zone read football so hard. So it's not the majority of what they do, but they do it at the right times. Obviously, they have great play callers that get you on those moments when you're not ready. So we've prepared for it. Now we have to just go execute it.
Besides the quarterback spot, how are you feeling about your team health-wise? Is there anybody out?
Cam Lenhart, I think he's I can't say if he'll go or not. He's still questionable. He's still trying to come back from the ankle. But for the most part, we're healthy. We're we're banged up. Our guys are learning the difference between being healthy means that you're able to play, right? And being healthy and being banged up. Whereas 15, 20 years ago, if you were 75%, guys would limp out there and play. Now, because there's so much, everyone's getting graded, PFF, all those things. Guys are a little more hesitant to play, not because they don't care, but because they don't want to play badly for the team. So, but we have guys here that'll go out and do that. They'll go out and play. Not to hurt themselves, but they'll play when they're not quite at 100%. Because there's a toughness to the Nebraska team and the players that was here when I got here. So, guys will go out there and they'll battle. I think Luke's on schedule to play. We believe Luke will play. We believe all those guys will play. And that's why we've rotated so many guys, so that guys are ready when it's their turn to play.
What challenge does Michigan's offensive line present, and what's made it so good even prior to this?
They have great players. They're well coached. They take great players and they add in, transfers from, they add in, multi-year starter transfers. The young man they brought in last year that I met at the Remington Award was a transfer. They recruit the best players, they develop them, but they also bring in guys who have a year left that are going to go to the NFL. So they just have a ton of really good players. They run the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, they run the ball. They run multiple schemes. So they do a great job of developing them. They do a great job of bringing them in. They run the ball downhill at people in multiple different ways, so they can attack you in a multitude of ways. And they play well together. You can tell that they know exactly who they are and what they do. Like they'll chip great pass rushers. They'll play action and max protect, and then get guys out. And they're a pro style team. So it's in all areas they're doing it exactly the way you're supposed to do it.
How tough has it been to balance Teddy Prohaska's workload as he works his way back fully?
He's fully integrated. He does the full workload now. He practices fully. He does everything else everybody else does. So Mitch and those guys did a good job early on of just kind of getting them involved as we went, and now he's got a full workload. So he's healthy and practicing full.
Have you gained anything from going through the game weekend experience at home the last couple of weeks that has had you shift anything or just make adjustments to what you guys do, like on a Friday night, on a Saturday morning? How have these past couple of weeks shaped just your whole perspective on being at home?
Nothing different. We probably have the same schedule we had at Baylor. I think the one difference was on the night game. We let the guys come over here, as opposed to having like a training room over at the hotel. We're over at the Cornhusker. We brought the guys over here just because I don't know if you've been down to the recovery area. It's like the Ritz-Carlton. They've like the best I've ever seen. So we utilize that. But no, I think everything else is the same. I can't think of anything. The only thing is for me is I just always feel awful when I'm coming in and out of the locker room. All those little kids are in there like, Coach Rhule, Coach Rhule, Coach Rhule. And I'm trying to get in the locker room and get out. So I try to dap a couple up, but I always feel bad not shaking everybody's hand. So, but yeah, nothing else other than that, right? Just being able to utilize the facility on a night game. But for a 2:30 game like this week, it'd be pretty standard.
Okay.
All right, thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.